Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back. In this video we will be doing an area and volume topic. We will be doing 2016 DSE past paper question 11 long question. Now what's written in here, please try to understand it and draw the figure because they did not give you a figure. Okay, so an inverted, so opposite conical vessel contains some milk. So cone, what is a cone? 圓錐. So 圓錐倒立嘅 inverted, so draw that first. Now because I'm just trying to make things quicker, so I won't draw too nicely. As long as you understand what I'm drawing, it's fine. So it's something like that. Okay, of course this is not the perfect drawing, but then you can understand. So 圓錐倒立嘅. Okay, and then it contains some milk, so I don't know how much milk there. Okay, and then the vessel is held vertically, so it's because it's very straight from bottom to up, that's why it's called teklap. And then the depth of the milk in the vessel is 12 cm. What does that mean? So there was some milk in this thing. So that basically means the height. So the height of the milk in that vessel is 12. So if I draw it, so it should be, okay, so this much is my milk. Let's say my milk is here until here, and then the height of my milk will be from here to here will be 12. That's what it means. And then what happens? Peter then pours more of the milk into the vessel without overflowing. So Peter is now so naughty. He's putting more of the milk in it. Now we don't know until how much, right? So we just know a little bit part of it. So maybe the next moment he comes, okay, it's until here. Yeah, that's why I should have done it in advance like this thing, because it's annoying to make it later. So let's say the milk that he came up is until this much, so he inputted more milk here, so these are all milk now. And then after Peter putting in the milk, what happens that he finds out that the depth, the height of the milk vessel is now 16 cm. Originally it was 12 cm. Now how much? 16 cm. So you also can draw it. The height is 16 cm. Something is there. Height means sides. And then these shapes are all similar. The smaller, the middle one, the middle cone, and then there's a big cone. So remember in class we said that there's a small cone, there's a middle cone, and then there's a bigger cone, like that. So this time it's just inverted, and then but they are still similar. Okay, they're in one thing. So we also do the same thing, and then we know that there's a small cone, there's a middle cone, right? And then for those two cones we have the heights, so we use that to do the question. And then what else do we know? We just know that this much, this brown milk is 444 pi. Do we know this one here? Actually no, we don't. So how can I find that first? Now there's a lot of methods, of course. I'll always use the let word because in this question you can get confused. Let the original volume of milk be, let's say, V cm cube. Okay, let's find that. So let's say this smaller cone, that's the original milk, right? That is V. So that is V much of it. And then there's a little bit more, 444 pi more. And then so in now total, this middle one is V plus 444 pi. And then the smaller one is just V. Okay, and then I want to find what? Well, we need to find the final volume of milk. That means I need to add up both of them in the end. But before that, let's do some simple calculation. Okay, yeah. So since I know that there's a height ratio and the volumes could be fine, so height is a side, so volume and side 邊長同埋體積幾時用㗎？ And then we also know that they are 相似圖形喎. And if they are similar figures, we can use a volume ratio 體積比例。體積比例係咩嚟㗎? What's the volume ratio? Volume ratio of the first thing and the second thing is side ratios cube. So when you write the units, you know there's a cube, right? So remember it that way, it's fine. Okay, so what's our first volume? Let's put the first volume as the one that you need to find, the smaller one. So that is V, just V, right? Because we made it as V. Over was the bigger volume. Both of them together. So V and also this 444. So V plus 444 pi. How about this side? How about the sides? The smaller one, this V, the size of that is 12. And the other one was the bigger one, so 16. So you also write that. 12 over 16. Okay, until here? Good. And then what do we do? You need to check. You need to find out the V on your own now. How do I do that? Right. So you can simplify this first. That's 3 over 4. And then you have a cube of it. So 27 over 64. And then how about this one? It's just simple calculation. The bottom part goes up. This goes up. 64V, 27V plus 444 pi. And then help to calculate everything, because this goes in, this also goes in, because I don't really have calculator. You don't need to click pi because in the end we need it. So you will find out that YB is 324 pi. Okay, so that means the smaller part is 324. But I need the final volume, so you need to write the final statement. Final volume is 324 pi plus 444 pi, which is 768 pi cm cube. Okay guys, this looks fine to me right now. So hopefully you guys can also get it, what I'm trying to say. So you can use this as the V, or actually another way is that you could make the whole thing as the V. That means the big thing is the V. And then the smaller thing will be V minus 444 pi. So it's up to you, okay? And then actually, even if you just write this part, there's one mark for it. So volume ratio is this thing. This is 1 mark, and then this will be 1 mark, and the final answer will be 1 mark. So it's very important that you know that even if you don't know anything, you can at least know that they are 相似圖形. They're similar figures, and then because they're similar figures, you can do 比例. Volume ratio is the side ratio cube. Writing this thing, you can at least get 1 mark sometimes too. Okay, good? Yeah. So part A is like that. Now what happens to part B? Curved surface area. Because they are saying what surface area. That means curved surface area. And then is at least 800, and you need to find that. How do I do that? Well, actually, you know that there's a volume for everything of them, right? So that means, can you find the radius? Yes, you can. And since we just need to find, this whole wet part. Wet part means wherever there's some milk. That's why it's got wet, right? So you need to find the wet curved surface area. What does that mean? That means this part. Not just the smaller, but also including this. So the whole middle cone. So you can draw it out if you think that's confusing. I'll make this thing smaller. So what you need to find for part B is just basically the middle part. So you have the circle on top, you have this thing, and then we know that we don't know so many things actually. We don't know the radius, we know the height. My drawing is so bad here because I'm doing it in a little bit of rush. Because you need a wet surface area. So what's the formula for it? pi r l. What is r? R is the radius, l is the slant height. What do we know now? We just know the height. So height is 16. How do I find the radius or the l then? Well, it's not that hard because we know this whole thing volume. And how do we usually find the volume of a yunjai, of a cone? Anything volume is base area times height because it's pointy, so you have 1/3 in front. Base area because the base is a circle, and then the height, and then it's pointy, so 1/3. It's just inverted, so you also think like that. And then we know this is the formula for finding the volume of the cone. And then we also know the volume is this thing, so you write out everything. 1/3 pi r square, we don't know, height is 16, equal to 768 pi. Pi on both sides, so you can cancel out. And then 16 here is multiplied, goes to the other side, divided. 3 here is divided, goes to the other side, also multiplied. In the end, you will have your r square as 144. And then you can find your r as 12. So after finding r as 12, do you see anything special in the figure? Yes, there's a right angle triangle there. So 不是定理 Pythagoras theorem a 二次加 b 次等於 c 二次 a square plus b square equals to c square. Yes, that thing. So I can use Pythagoras theorem to find the slant height. So a and b is the lines next to the right angle. So slant height tapping is a square plus b square. Okay, you can write like that. Slant height is your c, right? And then 144 plus 256, and then see whatever answer you get. And then if you don't want to remove a square, you do a square root and then find your answer. So because I don't want to click right now, so you do it, and then what do we get? So now you have your slant height, you have everything, right? So okay. And then you want to find the curved area. 曲面面積 sub 嘅部分 sub means the one that has milk, so this part. So I have my pi, I have r, I have l. So you click the whole thing. Wet curved surface area. So pi r l, and you find it to be 240 pi. 240 pi is, click calculator, 753.9822369 cmet. It's less than 800. So do you agree or disagree? Disagree. Why? Because the question said it's at least 800. At least means it could be more or equals to, but not less. Okay? So now usually a student will have a confusion that I know how to draw, but then how do I know which part? Is it asking for question part B or C? Well, you need to draw carefully and then see the questions. If they are basically asking you something of in part A, they will use it in part B as well most of the time. So they asked you the whole milk, right? The whole milk is basically this part only. So in part B, you will have to use this part. And then if you're still confused, then draw again and try to use different colors for the questions and you'll get it. Practice makes perfect, basically. Now this time they asked you this whole wet curved surface. Next time 可以問啲咩呢？就係平折頭 the first term. Like if I have this thing, I want to cut this bottom part, then what do I get for this curved? So again, you find the big thing, you also find the small thing, and then big minus the small, you will have the middle one. Okay, so it's not that hard. Actually, area and volume is not really a big, I mean, it's a big topic, but it's not really the hardest because it's a junior form topic. And how can a junior form do such hard questions, right? And it's not even taught in senior forms. Okay, so that's all for this question. Hopefully you get it, and if you don't, you can also ask later on in classes or even in the WhatsApp, but usually I don't really reply there because too many questions every day and I get busy with the schools as well. Nah, that's just an excuse. I will try to answer. So until next time, see you. Bye bye. This was 2016 question 11. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz. Bye. Allah Hafiz. You can turn off the now. Okay, you can look few more and then Allah Hafiz. Okay, you can pause the video and look at the question. You don't need to watch it till the end, right? Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz. Why am I screaming actually in the mic? Oh no, my voice is so weird here. But who cares? Allah Hafiz.